let's go ahead and get started. Byron, we've got just an hour to get everything in here tonight. And I tell you, it's going to be a great show. We planned it out as best as we could. And I tell you, we've got the coaches here, we've got players here, we've got the cheerleaders here. We've even got Big Kevin Howe here. How about that? Here's the main color commentator.
That sounds really good. I'm glad he's actually producing this now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because me and him have really good conversations about your picks.
Yeah, well, speaking of my picks, well, we'll get to that later. But let's go ahead and get started. We like to always start last season. Of course, we had a great football season, Byron, Tornado Nation and fans, as our Tornadoes went 12-2 overall. They were 3-0 in the district. And I tell you, Byron, what a great season. What a great for you for your first season, actually going over your second season, to have a team like this.
Yeah, David, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Same mentality, same thing, Byron.
Yeah, David, it's Friday Night Lights, and I wouldn't take a Texas Superstar Spartan any day.
No way. No, there is no way. I'm telling you right now, everybody's excited. Everybody's ready for the football season. Again, we got a lot of guests that we want to get to and that we want to talk with as well. And at this time right here, I'm going to bring up the cheerleaders for our Bradford Tornadoes, a couple of them right here. We've got Jenna Gray Hewitt, who is the varsity football coach. Put your hands together for our cheerleaders, you ladies, wherever you want to sit. But I got the head football coach. She probably could be the head football coach too. No, I ain't. Not just yet. Not just yet. No, don't put me on the spot. No pun intended. We've got and we've got Emma Mueller here with us. Ladies, glad that y'all could join us tonight. And sometimes when we talk football, it's always about the football. You know what I mean? But the cheerleaders make up part of that as well as with the band. And I couldn't get a hold of the band director in time because I'd like to talk to him as well. But I'm glad that you two ladies and your coach could be here. Start with you, Jenna. I know that you lost some singers last year, just like you do every year. And I know you got another set of young ladies coming up. This squad here, what is different from last year's squad to this year's squad?
I would say there's not much of a difference. We only had one senior last year, so the majority of the girls are returning for another year. This year we have 7 seniors on varsity, so we'll lose a lot next year. But the group of seniors that are here on this squad are leaders on and off campus. Most are dual enrolled, most are in student government, and do a lot of things like volunteering and stuff like that on campus. So it'll be a group that will be missed. And I'm trying to enjoy my time with them now because I'm already dreading the end of it. But I'm really happy to have the group that I have. We are made up of a team of 19 this year, and it's all the way from freshmen to seniors. And it's a really, really excellent and talented squad.
Now, do you still have a JV squad as well? So you got 19 varsity girls, and you still have a JV squad as well?
We do. We have 15 on the JV squad.
So you got 34 total cheerleaders. Is that number increased over the last several years, or is it staying about the same?
It's more than we've had in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Now, some of these young ladies I follow, I know that Kendall cheers for NFE and some of those things like that, cheer competition. I'm sure that really helps the squad, doesn't it? When you've got girls that's been doing it since they were 4, 5, and 6, and moving up into the JV and varsity ranks.
Absolutely, we have a great relationship with the local cheer gym here, and North Florida is an awesome place where they really teach the athletes a lot about technique and safety. And we also have a great feeder program at the middle school that has provided some really great coaching and things like that. So it's been really great and easy for me. When they get to me, they're already ready to go.
Again, welcome into the Bradford Tornadoes Sneak Peek 2023 season. David Rogers, Warren Byron Bagwell. We've got the cheerleaders up here. Ladies and gentlemen, give them another round of applause right there. This question is going to go to Kendall. Kendall, if you'll just take the mic right there. First thing I like to do with everybody, you can ask Chasen, you can ask all those guys that I've interviewed before. The downtown grill. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, there we go. Welcome back to Bradford Tornado Football 2023 Sneak Peek Show. Again, I'm David Rogers, right along with Byron Bagwell. Right here up on stage with us, we have some of our varsity cheerleaders and, of course, our varsity cheerleader head coach. We just got through talking to Kendall, so Emma, I'm going to let you take the mic for just a second. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. And I know you're the varsity captain, so you go ahead and say that. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 17. That's my senior year. I'm captain of the varsity cheer team. I've been cheering since 7th grade. It's something I'm really very passionate about. And after a couple of years, I knew that I wanted to be a leader in that. And I wanted to give back to that community that I feel like gave so much to me and helped change me in a lot of really great ways. So that's a big thing to me. Dual enrolled. I'm involved in Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I'm a student government. I try to stay as much involved in my school as I can because I feel like it's very important to be involved in what has given so much to you so you can give back to others because you would want that from you.
And you're exactly right. And I know this is going to help you as you go on with your future, as you leave Bradford and go to college and do the things that you're wanting to do. So you're the varsity cheerleader captain. Was that voted or was it picked? Did your peers vote you in on that?
So for the past couple of years, Coach Shannon has changed it where she has the overall say. But it made me so incredibly happy to know that the votes lined up with Jenna's choice because being able to have a relationship with the people that I've cheered with for so long is very important to me, and I'm happy to know that they want me leading their team, that they want my support and they want me to do the work for them.
So I got a question for you, hypothetical. Let's say you could go cheer down at a big school in Miami or Bradford High School. What would you choose?
Bradford, for sure. If you can't really beat the atmosphere that we have here.
Absolutely.
I've never seen it anywhere else. Our Friday Night Lights is just amazing. I've never seen it. As Coach was saying earlier, we have programs that have started since here from elementary school, like people that were involved in competition teams. And then in middle school, Coach Nicole, she did an amazing job of making sure that we had all that.
There's some things in the work where Ms. Gonzalez, the new band director, is gonna do some things, and we're gonna try to interact a little bit more with them.
Gotcha. Anything new as far as cheerers or anything? I know you probably don't want to let out the whole playbook, as Coach would say, but anything new that we could see on Friday nights that the cheerleaders maybe haven't done in the past?
Well, I think just like talking about how there has been improvement in the football team and how well they're doing. The cheerleaders now, it might not be very recognizable to those who don't have experience in cheer, but the level of technique and everything that they've learned in the past few years in preparing for their own competitions has really upped their game as far as what they're able to do stunt-wise and a lot of the cheers and stuff that they're doing. So I think they can just look for some more excitement from us on the sidelines. We're always happy to be there, and there really is nothing like Friday Night Football in Bradford County.
I agree with you. Ladies and gentlemen, give the cheerleaders a big round of applause right here. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Wow. Hey, I'm telling you right now, you can see that the number of varsity cheerleaders, Byron, has come up and get more cheerleaders, more football players. This thing is starting to take off and take off and take off.
A little bit of momentum and some wins definitely helped that.
Yes, it does.
And, good cheerleading coach helps with that too.
Yeah.
I mean, they look great out there doing what they're doing. Now the competitions will come too, and they'll start to win.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome in to the Bradford Tornado Football 2023 Sneak Peek Show. I'm David Rogers, right along Byron Bagwell, right along with Big Kevin now producing, and Chuck Kramer back at the station flipping the switches. I'd like to call up Jimmy Clark if he would, if he'd come on up and sit with me here for just a few minutes. Jimmy, come on up. Give Jimmy Clark about a big round of applause. See, I tried to call you today. You did
In a quiet manner, I try to stay behind the scenes and let my son enjoy his time for himself and not be a distraction. But we'll continue the same type of stuff. We the second half of the year last year, some of us helped when you're winning football games, but we also cleaned up that process a lot between myself and Jenna being able to text and communicate and Mr. Coffee and people going, okay, well, what do we change at 6:45 or 7:15 or 7:21? And how do we get officials on board with that? That's something that's underestimated in high school. I mean, for us on Friday night, it's not just hit a button. We're trying to get people to understand we have a process. So we have an entertainment value that begins at 6 p.m. and ends at 10 o'clock at night. So you won't really necessarily see stuff new as much as just that you'll see a lot cleaner process. We are bringing back fireworks. We're doing videos still. We've added some new sponsors. And then you'll see terrible towels. And then there may be a couple things that we communicate with the coaching staff. There may be a surprise at home game or two this year as well. So.
Jimmy, I tell you, you and your staff has really brought a synergy to David Hurst Stadium and Friday Night Lights as we define it. Hey, it's Mojo football time when we get there, buddy. If you're needing any help or anything like that, I know you're always looking for help. You're always looking for things. How can somebody get involved with you in the Tornado Touchdown Club?
A couple different ways. One of the ways would be, if you're a parent that has no communication with me, you can always reach out to your kid's coach, which is it's Coach Rogers or one of the individual coaches. They'll direct. Obviously, the staff at the school knows how to get in touch, and then we also have an email. We are the TTC@gmail.com. And then just what we ask is for people to reach out and offer help. I mean, it's as simple as that. In the middle of football season, the biggest thing is sometimes we need, Snickers and Gatorade. That's simple. I mean, right now we feed our football players during the middle of halftime. So we got a lot of players that play both ways. It's a lot of energy expended. There's a biological element to that. The body can only do so much. So you have to do something back to it. Coach come in, and those are some of the things that change the culture of the program. Was understanding something as simple as a Snickers bar or a bag of Skittles and a Gatorade might give a person like a Jason or Ford or Khalil that's not coming off the field a little bit of competitive edge just to kind of refill the tank a little bit. So those people can do those without even reaching out to the club. Somebody wants to drop off a box of Snickers or a thing of Gatorade, and you're dropping it to school and telling them for the football team.
There you go. All right. No pun intended. I will put you on the spot. All right. Bradford Tornadoes. What's the record this year? What do you think they're going to do?
Ask me at the end of the year.
Ask me at the end of the year? That's what Coach is going to tell me too, I believe.
Probably.
I see that smile over there.
Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Jimmy Clark. Hey, yeah, thank you, brother. How you can help and do the things that need to be done on Friday night. So, again, welcome to the Bradford Tornado Football 2023 Sneak Peek Show. Got a great crowd in here tonight, Byron. As you just heard from the two, you just heard from Mitchell. Glad to have you along. And I know that you're ready for some tornado football.
Oh, definitely, David. I'll tell you what, I'm so excited for the season to kick off and hopefully have the opportunity of sitting up in the press box and calling the game a little bit here and there. And I even went out and bought some handcuffs so I can tie up Byron somewhere so I can have a seat to sit in.
Well, we'll just make a seat for you. It's not a big deal, man. You know, we don't have to tie him up. Maybe you can tie Big Kevin up, man. That's what we'll do. How about that? But he'll be back at the station producing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up our next guest. Is Coach Jamie Rogers in the house? Put your hands together for Coach. Here. There he is. The man with the plan. Coach, how you doing, sir? Come on in. Join us right here. Coach Jamie Rogers and head football coach of the Bradford Tornadoes in his second season. Good first season, Coach. 12-2. Won the district. Hey, man, I tell you. Hey, it was a great season, and I know you're proud of the boys that you had last year and some of the boys that are returning this year that was part of that team. What job well done, and man, we had chances and chances. We could almost been there, couldn't we?
Yeah, we I talk to our kids about it all the time. We had our shot, you know what I mean? And for a coach, or for me in particular, it's the couple that got away. You know, I think about the Swanee game and the Cocoa game a lot more than I think about the 12 wins, which is probably not the way you should do it. You should probably enjoy the wins, but I can't do it that way. So I wrote it on the board right after the Cocoa game. I wrote in big letters to score the Swanee game and score the Cocoa game. So hopefully our kids don't want to have that happen again.
So again, Coach, thank you and welcome in here to the Sneak Peek Show. Like I said, great football season last year, and should look for another great football season this year. I want to just look over the schedule a little bit, and I know you know it, but I want to let our audience know it and the people that are listening in on the radio or through on the spot with David Rogers. We'll start off this Friday night with Baker County, a team that you're real familiar with, an area that you're real familiar with. You beat them twice last year, and I think you heard me say earlier, are you welcome over at Baker County anymore, bro?
In a few places I still am, where I live.
They'll come on out. I know Jason.
We got Jason Clark, our linebacker tight end, and Devon McBride, outside linebacker. sheet so him come across the field and almost knock a dude out and just knocked the ball out and gave us a quick turnover to lead us to a 14-0 lead. So, we both these guys are huge leaders for us on defense. Jason plays a lot on both sides, on the offensive side as well. So, I think the offense is going to surprise some people this year. Maybe not a whole lot of our opponents are watching the show, but these guys lead us along with those other guys, and we've got a lot of people that's had a lot of Friday night experience. And that's just something you can't teach. You can't coach that. It's about being out there with the bullets flying, and these guys are ready to go.
I gotcha. Anybody that has a question for the coach that's here or that's on the spot with David Rogers page, if you have a question for the coach or any of the players or the cheerleaders, just let me know, and we'll be glad to ask that. Coach is not afraid to answer any questions except what's our record going to be this year. So you don't want to answer that.
Well, I know a lot about cheering too, so
Do you? Yeah.
I got a lot of experience.
There you go. Does Jason know a lot about cheering? A lot. He said. Oh yeah. I'm sure you're looking forward to bigger and better things, and of course, this season is going to help you propel to that next level that you want to be at. Just for curiosity, for the fans out here and anybody that's listening, where do you want to go to school at? Where do you want to go to college at?
My dream school right now, FSU.
FSU?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Where's the Gator fans out there? All two of you? Because I know where this guy's allegiance is. I know where this guy's going to school. And I know where he just said. So,
But if he goes to FSU, we'll cheer him on.
of course we will. That's exactly right. So,
He's ours.
there you go. What is your personal goals, Devin, as far as this year? What is some of your personal goals that you want to accomplish this year during the football season, maybe off the football field as well?
My personal goals during football season, play as hard as I can and do the best in the field. My out of football goals, like in school, I want to keep my grades up so I can pull out and go and do college applications so I can go to college and I can go into wildlife biology and I can get, and after that, I'm going to go back to college for my master's.
Wow. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? He said his science is his favorite subject. So, and he wants to get into biology, wildlife, marine biology, things like that. Oh, that's an excellent career right there. Jason, what are you going to study?
I want to study psychology.
Psychology?
I plan to come back to the university.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Be a psychology major.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, you do. Yeah, yes, you do. Let's see, for deadline, real quick. You want to give your 40 time? I wouldn't put you on the spot, no pun intended.
So, my last time I ran the 40 was like 4 to 5.
That's pretty good. That's pretty quick. That's not bad. That's a good time. Jason, what do you run?
I had a 4.51 in Dallas.
Okay. So good deal. All right. Well, there we go. Two fast guys right here. Coach, back to you here. I know last year's team, we talked a little bit when we opened up the show. No Manny Covey, no Jip Pringle. Some of these guys have moved on and went to other places. I know that Jip was a game changer on several games for us last year. Who's that guy this year, Coach?
Well, we don't know yet. I think there's a couple guys, that'll have a chance to do that. We've, in kickoff return, especially, that's where a huge hole was left by Jeff. It was actually 3 games in a row because he returned, Crescent City.
Yes.
Then skipped Eastside, and then 2 more in the playoffs, which was incredible. We got 3 touchdowns in special teams in the playoffs, which doesn't happen very often. Actually 4 because we blocked a punt against Coco. So 4 special teams touchdowns, which is insane. So, Willie will be back there a lot. Dejan will be back there a lot. Elijah Kellum, a new kid to our school, will be back there returning kickoffs and punts a lot. So, for us, special teams is huge. And we work it every day at some level. It may be just a kickoff team today, or we may hit a couple of them, but we hit a special teams every day. I think it shows a lot in the way we play. If you can be good by being good on defense or good on offense or good on last year we were good at all three phases. We flipped the field so many times that I didn't even know this till Coach Staples obviously told me because he's the special teams coach. But we punted 28 times last year. Only 3 times did the returner get his hands on it. Only 3 times. So the return team only returned against us 3 times in 14 games out of 28 punts. That just doesn't happen very often. So not sure yet, but there's gonna be a lot of people step up. We'll see Jeremiah more on defense this year than offense. He's still gonna play offense a lot, but he'll be more on the defensive side. Obviously Khalil back there. Trying to think of some new guys. Hankerson. He went from backup quarterback. He's going to play a lot in the secondary now. He'll be over at corner a lot. So just trying to hit some guys that were not out there a whole lot last year that are going to be counted on big time this year. So Cam Lewis, Jalen Williams will be on the offensive line on the left side. Newcomers to our school. They're going to play a lot on the offensive side, and Jalen will play on the defensive side some too. Up front, we got Trente, Jordan Daniels, Duke Lewis, newcomer. So a lot of the fans that watched us last year have a lot of new names to learn because there's a lot of guys that are going to be on the field helping us win that they really don't know. So that'll be a lot of fun too.
Well, David's got a lot of names that he's got to learn then.
Yeah, for sure. There's going to be, but I know those good skill players that we got. So I know what numbers they are. But you're right there.
I got a question for Nick Bryan. I know you play an outside linebacker. Can you explain a little bit to the viewers on the spot and also the listeners on WEAG about the communication level that has to take place on the field that a lot of people don't get to see between the linebacker position, the defensive line, and also the corners?
We gotta communicate a lot, because we gotta tell the line where to be at, and then we gotta let know the secondary what coverage we're gonna get. So we gotta speak a lot.
Is there a lot of hollering going back and forth at times? If say they go to a run play, do you communicate to the cornerbacks to say, hey, run, so they can, after they break the offensive line, that they can concentrate and let their guy go because the ball's going to be coming their way?
Yes, sir. We do. But we also got athletes so they can see it at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, you got athletes that can react really quickly. If you're not hollering something, they know that, hey, that run is coming for them, and they'll be able to make the play. Jason, I know you calling a lot of the defensive plays on defense. You're the defensive captain.
Yes, sir. So we usually have a few keys that we'll get. So of course, just looking at the offense, we'll get a few keys in, and there's a few calls that we'll just call immediately. And just help them. We also have every single play we'll call on the sideline for different formations that basically we're running and things of just to keep things moving the best way we can.
I know I asked you this question before. The mentality of the team and your mentality and how you're going about this season. I just heard the coach say, hey, I wrote the Lalo score down, I wrote the Coco score down. I know that's been, y'all know what to focus on and what to do. I can just see, just from the chief of playing and what I heard and what I did see of it, that y'all are focused right from the get-go. There's no letdown. Y'all are ready to go. You wish the night was Friday night, don't you? I know most of these guys do it, like Coach said. I know y'all are tired of hitting each other. Let's hit somebody else. So we're ready to see that too as well. Coach, I want to thank you and the players for coming up, but I do want to ask, what do you want to tell our viewing audience and anybody that is involved and come to watch Tornado?
Oh yeah. First of all, thank you for last year. Especially all you guys that came out and packed those stands. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. One of the best that I've ever been in, and I think these guys said it accurately. It was as good a football atmosphere on Friday night as there is. You can't go anywhere around here and find any better. So that for what Jimmy and his group and Jenna and the cheerleaders and the band and everything working together. The thing on the jumbotron, the pregame thing that comes on and gets everybody going to jump around in the fourth quarter to That's what made our kids feed off that. Listen, when you're tired and the game's close and it's 21-21 in the fourth quarter and you need a small little, that's what it is. That's the community standing up in the bleachers and waving the rags and, you know, a specific song coming on the radio at the right time to get our kids excited, to give them that little extra edge, and that's what small town football is all about. And so I just want to appreciate all those people I just named. Our cheerleaders are awesome. Our band, they do a good job for us, and just the whole community. Anybody that's involved with the Booster Club, we really appreciate it. It's we can't do it without you. When I first got here, I had a couple of people ask me, Jimmy and the guys that were helping him and the sheriff, what do we need to do? What's the main thing we need? And the first thing we needed was nutrition. You can't be a good football program if you don't have enough to eat. And people all over this community stepped up. And Jimmy would have to tell you who those are. We've thanked them many times, or at least we've tried to. And if you're listening, thank you again. We couldn't do it without you. Our kids need to eat. Our kids eat a lot. I mean, we feed these kids so much more than the surrounding programs. We run our program like the South Georgia program, and that takes a lot of money, and it takes a lot of food, and it takes a lot of muscle milk, and it takes a lot of everything, weight room stuff to practice, and we just couldn't do it without everybody. And the 12 and 2 was a product of the community pulling together and helping us do that. We got really good football players, and I think our coaching staff does a really good job. But what sets us apart and what's going to push us even farther than 12 and 2 this year is the community buy-in and everybody pulling in the right direction. So I really appreciate it.
You're right about that, Coach. And I tell you, living here in Starkville between two hotbeds of football, you got Florida that's just 20 minutes from the house, and you got the Jacksonville Jaguars that's just north of us there in Jacksonville. And, a lot of families can't afford to go to those games, and what other better opportunity is that just to bring their kids out and watch these young men play at David Hurst Stadium and be the 12th man in the stands.
Yep. I mean, I remember for myself, I never even thought about playing college football. I never thought about playing professional football when I was a little kid, like the kids that came to his camp the other day. It never crossed my mind. I lay down in the floor and threw football up, and I wanted to be a high school football player. And for this, what we do, the show that they put on, the product that our kids put out there by being good football players, it's as good as there is, and it's a lot of fun to be a Tornado right now.
Yes, it is. And, Coach, time always flies when you're having fun, man. We can talk football for hours and hours. And, of course, our time has come up here on this radio broadcast. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for all these guys right here, the coach, the players, our cheerleaders, our Tornado boosters, everybody that's involved in Tornado football. Looking for another great season, Coach, and fans out there. And it's going to start this Friday night as Baker County comes in, and we host Baker County. And hopefully we can beat them for a third time in a row. And we're just looking forward to call that game. Again, thank you guys for coming out. God bless you. Appreciate you guys being here live with us. This is what this is all about for the players and, of course, the cheerleaders and everybody that's involved. God bless you guys.
Go Tornadoes.
That's it. Go Big Red, right?
Go Big Red.
God bless you guys. Catch us on the radio broadcast. If you can't go live to David Hurst Stadium, which I urge that you do, catch us pregame show at 7, kickoff at 7:30 with myself and Byron Bagwell until Friday night. God bless you guys. Thank you. And what? Go
Big Red. Big Red.
Go Big Red. Thank you guys.